viral as I'm not. I'm trying to make sure I get everything straight. What up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I am your host, DEHR2 Productions, and so we're gonna check out the girl who murdered her own mother and went viral on TikTok. This is another case of clout chasing gone wrong, and this is not surprising to me. First, we dealt with the girl who made fun of a cancer patient and thinking that it's cool to do that, which is completely wrong on so many levels. And then we found out that she is making fun of people with disabilities, and that's not okay whatsoever. So now we're dealing with another nut job who killed her own mother to be famous on TikTok. I don't understand the situation, but so let's hold on. Let me All right, so let's get to it.
The female is going to be armed with a knife.
Prosecutors say Isabella Guzman stabbed her mother 79 times
What?
in the family's bathroom last week. She said nothing as she walked right past her. All right, ladies.
Wow. Hold on. We need to go back, because I think we're going to have a field day with this one. Did you see the way she looked at the camera and not have one soul whatsoever? We need to go back.
Wait, she said nothing as she walked right past her.
Look at this right here. It seems like when you're young, you think that it's okay to do all this crazy nonsense to get famous on TikTok or whichever social media that you're doing. It can only get you backfired big time. And the look on her face when she... Come on, man. Like, this girl is the prime example of everything wrong. Of everything wrong with today's society. This is not surprising to me.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, it's going to be a pretty wild one, as we're going to be talking about why a murderer went viral on TikTok and became sort of an icon for individuals to stand over.
Stupid.
Yes, people were and are actually standing this girl for reasons you guys
What?
will be baffled by when I get to telling you later in this video. Now, Isabella Guzman of Aurora, Colorado was only 18 back in the summer of 2019
wow.
and was living with her parents.
Oh, this is 2 years ago.
Hoy and stepdad Ryan Hoy. And as is tradition of most teens on the edge of adulthood, Isabella fought with her mother pretty much every day. You guys already know how it usually goes, especially between moms and daughters. Now, her parents were divorced when she was younger, with Isabella moving in with her real dad at the age of 14. But it was when she later on moved in with her mom, shared with her new stepdad, that things began to take a
That could be the reason why, millions of kids all over the world turn out the way they do when it comes to having divorced parents. It can be really hard for them to deal with as they get older. But that still doesn't give her the excuse of what she did to her mom. Like, come on.
Turned for the worse. When moving in with her mom, Isabella went to Oberlin High School before dropping out and spending most of her time between her boyfriend's place and other friends that she said she had. She was a pretty problematic girl, exhibiting bad behavior and pretty much disrespecting and disobeying her mom and stepdad. But apparently, based on my own research, she was pretty cool with her biological dad, which is pretty typical with most dads and their daughters anyway. And now, while it was well known by her parents that Isabella often struggled with mental health issues, it seems as though that she received...
That could explain why she's doing what she's doing. Mental health plays a huge role in any situation like this. Bro, this is just crazy. She could have at least managed her mental illness instead of just taking it out on her own mom. Bro, this is crazy.
Little to no support for her disorders, which turned out to be a critical lapse in judgment since her mom paid the ultimate price for her negligence. However, Isabella's relationship with her mother had reached a breaking point in the late summer of 2013. frequent fights, arguments, and constant bad behavior that had driven her mother to the point of wanting her to be kicked out of the house. You know, banned from the premises, excommunicated from her life. Yeah, it was that bad. The two often fought, with her stepfather needing to intervene consistently to prevent things from getting out of control. And by the way,
it's going to get a lot worse.
Young Mi Hoy, Isabella's mom, she met Ryan Hoy, her new stepfather, through infidelity. Like, apparently, while her mom and dad were still married, her mom decided that, you know, she needed to get a little...
Wait, hold on, wait a second. I think I mentioned something. Let me go back for a minute. I gotta make sure I catch something.
That, you know, she needed to get a little ding-a-ling on the side. Like, she had her little side piece and was... Hoy, her new stepfather, through infidelity. Like, apparently, while her mom...
The action or state of being unfaithful to a spouse or other sexual partner. Oh, wow. So I think the mom was pretty much responsible for her daughter's actions. That could explain why her daughter was doing the unthinkable. The mom wanted a little pipe from the other side and not really paying attention to her family. This is weird, bro.
And dad were still married. Her mom decided that, you know, she needed to get a little ding-a-ling on the side. Like, she had her little side piece and was partaking in extracurricular activities with another man, which eventually destroyed the marriage between Isabella's mom and dad. And Isabella was furious because she didn't want anyone replacing her real dad. Which is understandable, and I genuinely believe that may have been a...
You know what? All of this kind of makes sense to me. She probably felt like, since she's dating a new guy, her stepfather, she probably felt like she was being replaced. It didn't really matter anymore. So I think this part played a huge role in this type of situation when she murdered her own mom because of that. I'm not making excuses for it or anything, but they could have dealt with this in a different way instead of just killing your own mom because she didn't care about you. That is so wrong, bro.
Contributing factor to why Isabella decided to do what she is about to do to her mother in this video. Now, the day before the murder, the tension between Isabella and her mother came to a peak as an incredibly big argument happened between the two. An argument that, after my research, I found out that it had something to do with Isabella's mom finding out that she's been sneaking in her boyfriend into the house when she wasn't home and having him leave through her bedroom window when she knew her mom was coming home from work. Like, as she was pulling into the driveway, this guy would sneak out of the window. And apparently, her mom found out about this because of the next door neighbors seeing him do this often whenever Yeonmi would come home from work, and eventually told the mother about what her daughter and her boyfriend were doing when she wasn't home. Yeah, they basically snitched on her. However, Isabella's stepfather, Ryan, later reported that in the midst of this argument, that things got out of hand really quickly, with Isabella throwing threatening and disrespectful while screaming at her mother and even spitting in her face. Yeah.
That is insane.
And after the feud was done, Yeonmi Hoy, the mother, was so afraid of her daughter that she asked her husband, Ryan, to remain close to her throughout the evening and asked him to sleep next to her that night in fear of her safety. And the very next day, on Wednesday, August 28th, 2013, it was reported that Isabella sent an email to her mom saying that, and I quote, "You will pay," according to official criminal records. Isabella's mother, fearing for her safety even more now, decided to call the police to her house, telling them that her daughter was threatening to harm her. And then she immediately left the house until, she thought it was safe to return. However, when the police officers got there, they spoke with Isabella and they were like,
"Hey, yo, Isabella, listen up. You gotta stop all these problems you're causing your moms before we're gonna be forced to escort your ass down to the county jail. Do you understand?"
Isabella was like,
"Oh my God, please don't bring me to jail. I could never survive in a place like that. It was a mistake. and I promise I won't do it.
They can play all nice and innocent all they want, but at the end, what you did to your mom, you took the L. You gotta do the crime. I- you gotta do the time, y'all. Please forgive me for my quotes, but still, she's trying to act all innocent and everything, but we all know what happens next, so I'm not even gonna lie.
Again, I'm so sorry if I caused any trouble.
And then the officer was like,
Yeah, I thought so. Because you were definitely not ready for the smoke that I was about to bring.
I think I should add that though. The timeline was accurate, by the way, and was completely made up for comedic effect.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. In reality, though, the officers that did arrive to the house told Isabella that her mom had every right to throw her out of the house if her behavior didn't improve, and pretty much gave her a soft warning, which I don't know why they.
Imagine Dr. Phil did this episode. He could probably blame the mom on everything about her daughter is and that and everything, but he could probably side with the daughter. It's like, I get why you did that. You always say that to every child guest on the show. And you always blame the parents for everything all the time and not look at the real picture. When a child chooses to act this way on their own choice, that's their fault. It's not the parents' fault or the family's fault. It's the child's decision that is causing people to have the negative effect on it. Because when you choose the type of lifestyle that your family wouldn't approve of, and your actions could lead to consequences. We all know one of these days, if Dr. Phil is going to end up doing the episode of this, he's going to probably side with the daughter or do an interview with the daughter about why she murdered her mom that went viral on social media. We all know how this is going to play out. Because knowing Dr. Phil, he always sides with the child. I mean, it's just obvious.
They did, considering the context of the situation, and Isabella sending some scary ass email to her mom saying only 3 words: "You will pay." Like, what? How could they just brush something?
Man, I would run away. I would run for my life if any of my child sent me that email like that.
Officers proceeded to contact the mother, telling her that they spoke with Isabella and gave her a warning. So it's safe to return to the premises now. So much for relying on police officers.
No.
No one loves their kid more than I do. Everything I do is for you.
Officers.
No, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna return to my own house if my child or my kid would end up sending me a disgusting email saying how I'm gonna pay. That's letting me know that you're gonna kill your own parent. For what? I would not return to the neighborhood or the home that I live in. I would stay in a hotel somewhere until it's actually safe. Heck, I would even stay at my grandmother's house and I would have to explain to her what's going on if my child would end up telling me, like, look, you're gonna pay. I would make sure that I would be safe. Come on, man. Like, the police, like, they're more stupid than the daughter.
However, when young Mi returned home, she was still scared of her daughter, so she decided to call her ex-husband and Isabella's biological father, Robert Guzman, to come and talk to his daughter so that he can try and calm her down from her explosive anger. And based on an interview with a news station, he said that
I went to talk to her because her mother was worried and wanted me to talk to Isabella. So I went to talk to Isabella and we sat down in the backyard looking at the trees and the animals, and I started to talk to her about the respect that people should have for their parents, and I was trying to let her know that she should be obedient to her parents, not rebellious, that she should try to listen more, and everything was going fine. He also said, in the conversation, I thought I made progress, but obviously it didn't do anything because hours later, this thing happened. Her dad, Mr. Guzman, would later go on to testify in the courts that
Isabella had seemed calm and understanding when he left the house after their little talk, but little did he know that just a couple hours later, his daughter was about to do the unthinkable to his ex-wife. And even Ryan Hoy, her stepdad, reported that his stepdaughter seemed calm after speaking to the police and her father, and he believed that
That's the Dr. That's that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde crap that they do. They act normal around police officers, like everything is cool. Like I'm gonna do what I gotta do to, to make things right with my family. But as soon as they go away, the Hulk comes out. The demon comes out of him. If that ain't the scariest thing, I don't know what is.
Isabella had moved on past her anger with her mom, so he left her alone while he waited for his wife to return home from work at her design studio, where she often spent like 12 hours a day working. And by the way, this design studio that she owns herself, the studio's name is Bella's Portrait Studio, and obviously the name Bella was inspired by her daughter, Isabella. I thought I'd just add
Oh,
that in there because it seemed like it would be interesting to tell, especially considering what's about to happen next.
oh boy.
So, Isabella's mom returned home from work that night at around 9:30 p.m.-ish and greeted her husband after a long day at work. And she told him that she was heading upstairs to take a shower and he sat down to eat his dinner. But after a couple of minutes, he heard a strange thumping noise coming from the upstairs bathroom and his wife calling his name. So he rushed upstairs as fast as he could to see what the hell was going on. And as he approached the top of the stairwell, he came to find that the bathroom door was closed with the shower running inside. A million thoughts were running through his mind at this point. Frightened and anxious, he began to open the door, briefly catching a glimpse of his stepdaughter inside the bathroom before she slammed it shut and locked it. And then as soon as he looked down, he saw a pool of blood flowing out from under the bathroom.
Oh my
Can
God.
you guys imagine how this guy must have been feeling in that very moment? The
Whew.
conclusions he must have been coming to in this horror.
Man, I would have had that same reaction, bro. Just reading the text and looking at this video has me scared. Like I can never picture myself with a daughter that acts up this way when it comes to social media. I get that you're upset that the mom didn't love you or didn't support you, and you probably felt like she was replacing your biological father, but it's another thing to go and murder your own parent. There was this one time, which I believe it was 4 years ago, when I used to do singing the men's choir in my church. So it was my first time singing in the men's choir, right? It was a pastor from Delaware or East or Delaware or Midway, right? I think it was Delaware. Um, he the one thing he mentioned that kind of reminisces to what I was thinking. Usually, parents used to bury their own child, and you see this all the time. And now you have kids burying their parents. So what? So what am I looking at this right here? Is reminiscent to what I said and what I was thinking about in the past. And I thought about what the pastor from Delaware said, and it kind of reminds me of this video I'm talking about right here. This is just crazy.
Defining moment he thought could only take place in movies. He quickly snapped out of it though and ran downstairs to call 911, telling the operator that he believed his wife was being attacked. And while he was on the line with the operator, he returned to the closed bathroom door and heard his wife's chilling final words, Jehovah. Suddenly, after a
Oh
few
my
seconds,
God,
the
Jehovah.
bathroom door quickly opened and out stepped Isabella, dressed in only a bra and shorts. She was holding a knife dripping with blood and staring ahead with a blank expression on her face. And without saying a word, she turned away, walked downstairs, and left the house And now, completely out of his mind, the stepdad, Mr. Hoy, steps into the bathroom to discover the horrifying scene. He sees his wife's naked body on the floor,
Oh,
a
man.
baseball bat beneath her, and a gaping wound across her throat. She wasn't.
This is so horrifying. To discover your lover naked body with a throat slash. All because the daughter didn't feel loved. Mm. I hope she gets life in jail. Because when you murder your own parent, you deserve everything that's getting to you. I don't care.
Moving and was stained in blood.
Not only had her throat have been slashed, but she's been reportedly stabbed by the coroner's account. By the coroner's count, she suffered 31 stab wounds to the face and an additional 48 of her. Oh, Jesus. I know I'm not going to get monetized in this video because what I'm just seeing right now is this is like watching a scary movie. I feel like this video is coming right out of a horror movie. This is like some Evil Dead stuff.
From the slashes of her multiple stab wounds, he told the dispatcher that he thought she was already dead as her eyes stared into nothingness. It was as if her soul was snatched right out of her body. Being there in that moment, seeing the woman that he loved lay lifeless on the floor, must have felt like the end of the world. Eventually, though, emergency responders arrived to the house after Mr. Hoy's 911 call, and they went upstairs, saw the body, examined it, and pronounced Yeonmi dead on the scene.
Too late.
And after taking Mr. Hoy's statement, police immediately began a manhunt for Isabella Guzman. Now,
it's crispy, juicy, tender. As in, juicy and tender.
Man, this is just weird, bruh.
McDonald's crispy chicken sandwiches.
Now get fluffy golden medium fries free with any purchase of a new crispy chicken sandwich.
Now, Isabella had fled the property and had made her way to a nearby supermarket, where she told the clerk she had been raped and was trying to escape her attackers. Like,
What?
It's actually disgusting how she can just so casually lie about rape.
Wow, really? First you killed your own mother and then you gonna lie about being raped? Girl, you... Oh my Lord, bro.
Like that after killing her own mother. But, I guess that's the least of her priorities. She then proceeded to beg the employees to not call the police, fearing that her rapist would find her, which would make no sense to me if I were an employee.
It makes no
That's
sense
so
at all.
Like, if you really were raped and just escaped your rapist, you should want me to call the police to help catch him, right? Like, it's, simple logic. Unfortunately, though, those employees had a collective IQ of a newborn baby on its way out of its mother's womb, and that led them to believing Isabella's obvious lie. However, her little escapade came to an abrupt ending the morning after someone called 911 at around 11:30 a.m. to report a body inside of a car in the parking garage on South Parker Road. Arriving officers found the car, but no one was inside. So, after receiving that report, the Aurora police decided to call in some undercover detectives, dressed like regular people, to go out and try and find Isabella. One witness, named Glenn Petty, who worked in a nearby office building, said he saw a man dressed like a motorcycle gang member who turned out to be an undercover officer, walking into the parking garage as a young woman walked out. Petty said the man and the woman briefly spoke, and then she turned and walked away into a parking lot. The first undercover officer followed the woman and was soon joined by two
Oh man.
police officers as they surrounded the woman, who was carrying a plastic shopping bag. Quote, suddenly, all three officers pulled guns, and the woman sat down next to a bush on a raised parking lot median. Petty said. So obviously at this point, Isabella's cover was blown, her journey had come to an end, it was all over for her. But, that didn't stop her from trying to buy her way out of this situation. So what she tried to do was tell the undercover officer that they had the wrong person, and that her name was actually Samantha Gonzalez.
You gotta be kidding me.
She had nothing to do
Hold on. You gotta be kidding me. Lied about your mother's murder, then you lied about being raped, and now you're telling them that you got a different name. This girl can try everything in the book all she wants. But at the end of the day, when you end up in jail, I hope and pray that you get the life in jail, because this is just pathetic. Try to come up with every trick in the book, and it's not going to get you anywhere. Because once you get caught, you're done for.
Situation. But then the police officer that was talking to her showed her her ID, and when he held it up, the picture on the ID was obviously her, 100%. But she still tried to play it off by saying,
It looks like me, but I can assure you it's not.
as if anybody with half a brain.
Nah,
cell
it's you,
would know
boo-boo.
that one. Oh wait. Luckily for us, though, the police officers on this case weren't as dumb as the employees from the supermarket that I mentioned earlier in this video.
Oh,
and
good.
Proceeded to make a successful arrest
Good.
on Isabella Guzman.
Good. And she better not get no less sentence in jail, because
Energy headquarters with new Red Bull Dragon Fruit beverages to power your day.
Now, the trial of Isabella Guzman for the
That
gruesome
monster.
murder of her mother began with her pleading her innocence by trying to make an insanity defense. She was trying to claim insanity off the bat. In other words, she tried using her mental health as an excuse for killing her own.
wow,
It
No. We had plenty of that crap in the past happen all the time when when a killer always blamed their mental health issues on everything that they done, they're going to try to get a pass or try to get away with everything. Whether you have mental problems or not, you're still going to get life in jail if you took a person's life. You can't get away with everything all the time. Your mental health has nothing to do with the situation. Look, all I know for sure is that if you take a person's life all because they didn't love you, you didn't feel loved by your parent, then you're the problem.
And the judge presiding over this case promptly ordered her to attend a clinical observation at a local hospital in order for doctors to determine if she was actually insane or not. And during this time, a post-mortem of her mom's body was released to the public, indicating the severity of her mom's injuries. And it was brutal. It said that she had been stabbed exactly 151 times
What?
by her daughter. Yes, 151 different times in and out of her mom's body.
Oh my God.
How does someone even have the stomach to do something like that?
Yo.
Like, that is just some straight up demonic shit right there.
Yes, it
Some books
is.
that I've read, 79 of those stab wounds were exclusively directed at the mom's face and neck.
Oh my God.
Given the incredible damage that was done to her mom's body, she obviously had to have a closed casket at her funeral, assuming she wasn't cremated. They also revealed that Isabella had struck her mother with a baseball bat. Yeah, the baseball bat that I mentioned earlier in this video, before viciously stabbing her to death. And honestly, this all makes me sick to my stomach. Now, as soon as people were made aware of the details of what Isabella had done to her
Man.
mother, the sheer brutality of this horrendous case began to pick up a lot of public attention, with friends, family members, and neighbors in shock at the news that Isabella had committed such a cold-blooded crime. Like, nobody who heard about this story and actually knew Isabella could believe it at first. But when the report about Isabella's state of mind was received by the court, the results were scary. Doctors were convinced that Isabella was suffering from severe paranoid schizophrenia and was not in control of her murderous actions on the night of the killing.
So schizophrenia causes you to murder your own mother, huh? No, I don't think it's schizophrenia. I think it's something else. She's got to have a clear intention of wanting to take her own parents' life. I'm just checking. No, I'm just checking something because a retro gaming star tried to come into my live stream, so I had to delete his comments. So retro, I'm sorry, but you're not welcome, bro.
And according to this article, it says, typically there would be another hearing to prove insanity, but in this case, the prosecution said the evidence is clear that the suspect was mentally ill. Therefore, her insanity plea was accepted by the judge, and she was not sent to prison, but a
What?
mental health facility.
No. You see, this is the one thing I feared the most. It's because of her mental illness. Instead of sending her in jail, you're going to send her to a mental hospital? No. This is unacceptable. Why are they rewarding? Okay, you know what? I need to say this. Why are they rewarding mental health bad behavior? It's because of mental health issues. She doesn't go to jail, but she goes to a mental hospital. If they have a mental hospital inside a jail, she deserved it. I don't get this.
George Brockler said, "Look, the job of the district attorney is to pursue justice. And at first brush, when you look at this case, you see a horrific and violent murder by a daughter towards her mother. I've never seen a person with that many stab wounds. She stabbed her over 150 times. So you want that person to be held accountable. But our system is a system that is not just conviction-laden, prison-laden, but justice-bound. And you have to look at this component, which is mental health." Brockler also said that the state hospital had a longer than normal opportunity to review Guzman's mental health.
Bull crap, bruh. You're making excuses for the killer. It's almost as if you're scared to put her in jail because this is the one thing that pisses me off the most about murderers with mental health issues. When they do when they do exactly what they're doing, you're gonna try to say, "Oh, we can't put him in jail because it's mental health." Put him in jail, period. When you know you did wrong, you need to be held accountable for your actions. Why does it seem like every time I hear stuff like this, you're making excuses of a killer? This is sick.
Quote, They had an opportunity to administer and tweak the drugs that might affect her psychology, he said. The end conclusion was that she suffers from a mental illness that kept her from being able to form the ability to know right from wrong, both legally and morally.
Bull crap.
During the testimony, Dr. Richard Pounds said Guzman was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. He said there were obvious signs of hallucinating. She was staring into space, having conversations with people who weren't present, and she was laughing at herself. And when asked how long Isabella might be at the Colorado Mental Health Institute, Rockler said, "It will be until the state doctors determine that she is no longer a risk or threat to
No.
the community."
I need a minute alone, bruh. This is stupid. You're making excuses of a murderer. You're scared to put her in jail because you're worried that she's gonna end up being killed in prison. When you take the life of your parent, you deserve to be murdered. Pathetic. Shoot, I mean, if you were a black man, you would have had life in jail. Man, this video is pissing me off, bro. Like, I feel like these prosecutors and lawyers are just making excuses of this poor excuse of a human being right here. And you try to say that until she's no longer a threat and danger to people? No, keep her there as long as possible. I wouldn't want nobody like that around me, period.
It could be a year, 2 years, or it could be the remainder of her life. So yeah, we don't know if she'll ever be getting out. Although she is a murderer and what she did was, disgusting. According to these professionals, she was mentally ill. And if you're mentally ill, as a child growing up especially, without having the resources to aid your mental stability, things like this can happen. So I'm gonna have to kind of blame the parents in this one. With all that being said though, Isabella was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Wow, really?
Released to a mental health facility in Pueblo, Colorado, where she remains to this day. Pretty crazy story, isn't it? And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are probably speechless right now.
I knew it.
This is crazy. But we're definitely not done yet, because we gotta talk about why Isabella Guzman actually went viral on TikTok more than 7 years later after the initial murder of her mother. And based on my research, this is the reason why.
Oh, God.
Samila-san.
It's because some random person on TikTok decided to create a short little video showing Isabella walking into a courtroom, and this was the courtroom.
What is on this idiot's mind? So it's because you're evil, you murder your own parent, you get everything handed to you on a silver platter, just like that, by creating a video on TikTok, just to make her famous. What is wrong with people in this world, bruh? Oh my God, bruh.
Where she was finally being charged for her crimes. But during this short little TikTok video of Isabella's courtroom appearance, where she's walking into the courtroom dressed in an orange prison jumpsuit and shackled, she sat down with a news camera pointed at her. She then turns to the camera and stares at it for a couple of seconds before sarcastically smiling and then...
Oh, this one pissed me off so much, bruh.
As she returns to her original position. And all this happening while the song Sweet But Psycho by Ava Max is playing in the background. And after this TikTok video went viral, the internet went wild with tons of people on TikTok in shock that this cute little innocent looking girl could commit such a savage crime, after finding out about what she did to her own mother. Like, for some reason, people seem to think that being cute or attractive should deter you from committing crimes, and that type of behavior should only be reserved to the ugly mugs of society. I mean, it should be common sense that someone's physical attractiveness has no impact on whether or not they can do stuff like this. But here we are. People on TikTok are acting as if they can't think critically, as usual. But here's where it gets better, because after she went viral on TikTok, people actually started copying her movements. Like, let me explain. People actually saw this video.
You
right?
cannot be
Started
serious.
trying to mimic the movements she was making at the camera, and it's actually pretty bizarre. Like,
What?
people genuinely think it's cool to admire a mentally ill murderer because she looks cute. Honestly, I gotta admit, man, we're
Man, this one makes me want to vomit, bruh. So you're saying that you're trying to get people to be okay of making a meme of them. Oh my god, this video pissed me off, bro. She was found now guilty. How am I not surprised? It's because she's evil. She gets everything handed to her, right? So some idiot on TikTok decides to make her famous. And why is that? So it's because you're evil, right? You have to get everything handed to you? I can't believe we live in a society where being bad is accepted. When was the last time you had people being held accountable for their... Never mind. I'm going off right now.
some weird ass people, like humans. We are weird. We can be very weird sometimes.
Yeah, you are.
Though a good amount of people have used her rise in popularity to raise awareness about the obvious harm that untreated mental health disorders can cause to society, and we're condemning the people who were idolizing this chick. But of course, the people who are standing a literal killer couldn't care less about any of this criticism, because if they did, they wouldn't have doubled down on the amount of support they seem to have given this girl.
This is stupid. You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Society...
That is stupid.
But there's nothing you can do about it. Isabella said during a CBS 4 interview that she was ready to rejoin society and was no longer mentally ill, which I...
Oh, you've got... No. No, I gotta pause. She's faking it. She has mental health problems regardless. If you coming on here acting like you no longer have mental problems, you need to keep your butt there, because when you're a danger to society, I don't want you around me. No sorry. So you can back yourself up somewhere else, girl, because I don't want you around me or my people, period. If you have that crazy set of mind to kill your own mom because you didn't feel love, you felt that your dad is being replaced, is you out of your mind? It's the whole system out of their mind. Seriously.
Since recovered to the point that she no longer possesses a threat to society. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. And it seems like I'm not the only one with this train of thought, since tons of people on social media seem to think that she is still an active threat to the public and have threatened to riot if the state ever decides to release Isabella.
Trust me, they're going to riot.
Not guilty verdict and subsequent resurgence of Isabella Guzman's case has sparked many conversations about people on social media romanticizing criminals based on their looks, regardless of the crimes they've committed. And we all know that's, never gonna end, since criminals have been romanticized by horny guys and girls alike since the dawn of time. I mean, just look at the guys like Richard Ramirez or Ted Bundy and the amount of fangirls they had and still do. Like, they definitely...
What is going on with this society?
Their less attractive counterparts are. In any case, though, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below.
Man, this video pissed me off, bruh. Shout out to you for doing the video, but this one pissed me off and it rubbed me all kinds the wrong way. And let me tell you why. This girl murdered her own mother because she didn't feel love. She felt like she was replacing her own biological father, right? So she must think, okay, since I'm going to go crazy, I'm going to keep fighting with my mom until my point is hurt. So I'm going to go take a knife, stab her 150 times, and I'm going to beat the crap out of her until she gets how I feel. So it's unfortunate that she gets no jail time and she's still in the stupid mental health plates, and some idiot on TikTok decides to make a viral video of her, try to make her famous, try to bring her back to the society. I'm sorry, but Where I come from, if you choose to do that type of crime, you will end up in jail. Where I come from, if you do something stupid that crosses a line, if you commit a horrible crime, you will end up in jail. And I don't know why the system had decided to not give her sentence. Why? Because she's special? She has mental health problems? Mental health is no excuse of what you did. And yes, it may be the parent's fault for not loving the child, but still, when the child chooses that type of right mind to attack her own mother, I don't feel, I don't feel sorry for this girl at all. This is just beyond stupid. Let me look at the chat and see who comments on here, because I know there are a lot of y'all have been watching this lately. Brandon, I know you got something to say. Daughter feels ridiculous. Can't stand watching a stupid show. Well, he's been doing it for years, so I can't say I'm not surprised if he ends up doing a story on this. Like I said before, TikTok sucks. Yeah. And you know what? I thought about getting back on TikTok, but I said no, based on what I've seen. I don't think I have a reason to, so forget that. And like I said, Retro Gamer Stars try to comment on my videos. Like, we're cool. No, we're not, dude. I had to remove your comments. Because, Brandon, yeah, it is demonic and evil. JJ Wilson, G-Bang, what's up? Yeah, I know. And I hope they keep it there, because if they let her out, the whole world is going to riot. You don't be worried about behavior. And then you got some idiot on TikTok who want to make her famous. Because what? Of how she looked? How she act inside of a courtroom? Bro, like, what is wrong with people? She's special because she's a woman. That's the case, yeah. I hate this system. So do I, Brandon. So do I. How she found out guilty? This is stupid. Yeah, it is stupid. It's crazy. These are the same people that idolize the Columbine shootings. Oh, trust me, they do. Because when you're white, you get a free pass. If you're black, you get life in jail. So how does that make sense? I mean, look what happened to Bill Cosby. And Harvey Weinstein is not even in jail. And he's still out there. Oh, she been ugly. This society needs to be rebooted. Only time will tell, bro. People have been idolizing bad people for a long time. That aspect is nothing new. Yeah, you're right, you're right, JJ. Jesus, like, when is we gonna stop rewarding bad behavior? Someone please tell me in the comments. Reboot this society. We don't know if this was black women or... Hey, Brandon, listen, whenever you're typing, man, you got to make sure your grammar is on point. Because I can't read, people's comments if your grammar is not straight. And basically, she needs to get life in jail, because you can't just act like you did nothing wrong. This is just bad, bro. Like, straight up bad. I wouldn't either. Look, I need y'all to keep commenting on this video, because I'm gonna do some more videos on this very soon, because I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm getting tired of seeing people being rewarded of their bad behavior. And this is not okay at all. So tell me what y'all thoughts in the comments below. I will see y'all in my regular video, man. I'm out of here.